Hello YouTube. This is Stephanie, aka Idin Nehasthusaa Gbagba, aka Tintero, honey, and we are, as you see, I am out in my element, doing the most, adjusting things. Oh well. As you see, I like to be natural and in nature. So yeah, it just is what it is. So I am here doing September readings, and I am currently on the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius. So Spirit, what does the sign of Sagittarius need to know for their highest good here in this beautiful month of September? It can be healing heartbreak, possibly. As I see, saw the Three of Swords and the Six of Cups pop out. Also, the Emperor. You may be trying to exercise too much control over people. I don't know if you're manipulating them or maybe vice versa, but it's time for you to surrender. There's a lot of mental anguish that, you may be experiencing because you're not able to control people the way you feel like you should. And who are you to try to control anyone and manipulate them into doing the things that you want them to do? If that's what you're trying to do, or maybe someone is doing that to you. But it's time for you to work on that. Or it's something that they need to work on so that they can ascend, so that you can learn the lesson and grow and complete this cycle. To forgive yourself, to forgive others, and to grow with the newfound information, newfound insight that you may be receiving, or Spirit is trying to download to you. So, Spirit, what does Sagittarius need to know for their highest good here in the month of September? Okay. Temperance. So Spirit is working in the background to concoct the perfect situation for you to grow, or to achieve balance. And we know that balance is the key to everything. And here you are showing up, King of Wands here in your current mind frame. So you're in your energy. Underlying cause, or the deep cause of things, we have the Three of Cups. So that could possibly be a third-party situation that you may have engaged in, or that someone has put you in. And your counterpart here in your recent past. We have the Queen of Wands. In the future, we have the Seven of Wands. Standing your ground. Alright, so clarifying the Temperance card, we have the Empress card. Spirit working in the background to help bring things to its fullest potential. To help nurture things to its fullest potential. Maybe nurturing you to your fullest potential. Below you, the deep underlying cause of everything was the Three of Chalices. Well, we have that clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. Let's get the rest of the cards out. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords. So a graceful ending. As you know, the tens do resort back to an ace. So there is some insight, clarity that is going to be gained. Let's just get all the cards out. How about that? Let's just get Excuse me. Heartbreak. I remember I was saying before, because of control issues. I'm trying to remember what messages I received while I was shuffling, so that I can see if any of it correlates to what's going on here. But I do see there's a Queen of Swords here over the clarifying the Queen of Wands. So initially I said there may have been a third party. And with this Ten of Pentacles here, it could be Ten of Pentacles in the energy of a reverse, saying that, you know, or it's generational wealth. So maybe this is a generational thing that you are experiencing, in the fact that as a man or a woman, maybe your mom and dad was a cheater. And it's time for you to break that curse, the cheating curse. That generational, you know, feeling that maybe you're not good enough. Maybe that's the way your family made you feel. And so you look for acceptance and love from anywhere you can find it, to try to fill the void of what maybe your mom or dad may have left from your upbringing. But it's time for you to release that hurt. Every time for you to release that hurt. I'm going to get all of the cards out, and then we're going to go forward with the reading. Alright. Okay. So the overall energy, or, you know, the bottom of the decks, like I said before, we had the Ten of Swords, which can, which of course is a lot of mental anxiety that is sometimes self-imposed, but it could be, you know, the knives in your back that you've experienced over and over, maybe from friends and family members. As I was saying, just kind of all of these negative opinions and stuff, you know, in your head about you're not good enough, or maybe abandonment or things like that, and it has your mind in a place of, like I said, mental turmoil. But it's time for you to silence that with like you said, we already know that the 10 reduces down to the ace, and the ace is, you know, insight, you know, clarity. Below that we have the moon. So some clarity being uncovered, maybe some things being uncovered about yourself, and you're gonna have to start over from and deal with those childhood emotions with the Knave of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. You know, deal with those childhood traumas, or, you know, feelings of abandonment. And then we have the Knave. And once you start dealing with it, you're gonna grow. But it's gonna, you know, it's gonna take some work. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take work. But you will be successful. It's gonna bring you to a place of more balance. And you have to, you know, be strong enough. We have the strength card here. You're strong enough to be vulnerable, to really look at yourself, to really, really, really look at what it is, at your life and how it has turned out, and maybe the reason behind the things that you're doing. Again, I said you may be trying to control people too much and manipulate them into allowing you to do the dumb shit that you do. Whether it's putting them in a third-party, you know, relationship or situation or what. And, you know, 8 of Swords is that self-anxiety. You do need to hold yourself accountable if that's what you're doing, and correct that shit, you know. Intuitively, you know what you need to do to get in touch with your higher self and to be a better person, but, you know, maybe you're blocking yourself off from that insight. Like, again, we said this 10 reduces to the ace, which is insight and clarity. But maybe you don't want to see that clarity. Some of you want to just sit and wallow in the pain and cry over spilt milk. But like in the usual 5 of Cups, you have 3 cups knocked over and 2 cups still standing. You understand? And then we have here, look, right after that 5 is the 2 of Cups. You need to focus on the 2 of Cups, on your mind, body, and spirit, and getting that on one accord so that you can grow. But it's going to take you going within with the Hermit card here to truly do the work and not be deceiving yourself and putting on these airs within your own brain and mind that you're justified in the actions that you may have been taking. That is not, it's just not right. Take that leap of faith and know that Spirit got you. And if you do, remember we was at the Page of Cups, then we went to the Knight of Cups, and then look at here. We are now at the King of Cups. You do the work. If you do the work, you will grow. You will get to the point of where you manifest, you know, that self-love that nobody can penetrate. With the Magician card, you're going to you can step into your full power of who you are. And that might be scary for some of you, but it's time for you to get in touch with your star player. And if you don't do it, Spirit will with this Tower. I can keep going and going from that, but silence. You need to go within. Let's get to the reading. Again, this is the overall energy. The bottom of the deck here we have APEP, which could be, you know, one of those tests. It's a testing. One of the testing cards is because it's in the family. APEP is in the family of the Duat here with the Neteru, and APEP is oppression, the surfacing of unconscious fears and memories that must be confronted. Wow. From maybe your childhood, like I was saying here, down here in the underlying cause with the 10 of Pentacles, which is generational, but it could be this generational, since this is the underlying cause and problem or whatever, generational curses, you know. And so once you come into the understanding and being able to see that from a different perspective, you're going to bring yourself into a place of emotional intelligence, and to where you can start to build on that relationship within yourself. This is the Lover's card, but I do feel like it's the merging of the male, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine within you. You know, usually there is an angel over the lovers, and that is, and in my opinion, that is just the cornerstone of the pyramid, of the triangle, and that's you being able to see from the higher perspective over the duality of things and integrating it in a way that is wise. Participation is going to take you actively working on seeing yourself for truly who you are and making the changes that you need to make and stop clinging to the past. This is this card. It says clinging to the past. You got to stop clinging to the past of how maybe your family treated you, your mother treated you, your father treated you, loved ones. Don't cling on to that. You rewrite your story in the way that you need it to go. You love yourself the way those other people didn't love you. You do it. And just watch the fulfillment that you get from not worrying about anybody else. You loving yourself is going to bring the right people along. The Neteru clarifying that is asterisk. Whatever. I know y'all see me scratching and stuff for this. I'm outside. I'm starting to get sweaty. It's starting to get hot. That's why this tent idea may not have been the best idea. But I love being outside. I'm a Capricorn, y'all. I'm a Earth energy. Wow. So asterisk could kind of be like the chariot, because you see she's in the chariot, she's running, and she's trampling over the bullshit, over people. It's time for you to trample over the enemy's words in your head. Not saying that your family is your enemy, but it possibly could be. They may have been an enemy-like energy in your life because it has beat you up so much. They have maybe, with their words or their actions, maybe they didn't know what they were doing. Maybe they did, but it was all for a reason. And it's time for you to conquer. It says asterisk. It's the conquering of one's enemies. Sensual pleasure exalted to become spiritual joy. Travel for one's advantage. So it's about conquering these lower energies. And you need to honor the sensual pleasure. You need to honor the sensual pleasure so that it can become spiritual joy. But spreading your love out to all kinds of queens and kings or whatever is not honoring that. You need to make sure you're honoring the women and the people in your life. Allow them to make the choice as to whether they want to be in a third-party situation. Don't just try to manipulate them into it because it feeds your ego. These are just energies and things that you're going to have to work on. Or else maybe your counterpart, like I said, there may be your wife, and this Queen of Swords could be your mistress. You're going to end up fucking that up. Or if it's meant for you to cut that loose, if that's not where you're supposed to be, then that's what you need to do. So the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords initially could be, or just in the general outlook of the Queen of Wands, is taking matters into your own hands. And the Queen of Swords could be you cutting out the things that are no longer serving you, whether it's those past energies of feeling unworthy and just not feeling unworthy, and just even you releasing your way of doing things and moving on to a way that is more righteous. Queen of Swords could be a cold bitch coming in and about to cut up and fuck up your whole relationship with your Queen of Wands, because like I said, you have your energy up here, King of Wands, and then we have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords energy is clarified by the dream. Maybe it would have been your dream to be able to have both of these women or both of these people in your life, but maybe you went about it the wrong way, and now sorrow is coming in. Because maybe you've been comparing them. It's a comparison here. You've had these women in competition with each other, and they ain't even know it, or maybe they did know it. But it's only because you've been conditioned to feel like, oh, I'm the manly man, I should be able to have as many women as I want, and this, that, and the third. But no. There's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. There's sister wives. They know about each other. They've agreed to this. Obviously, or maybe you did not establish that kind of knowing between these two women. And so, yeah, that's what is going on right now. So the Neteru, to clarify that, is Kiku. And it says immediate transformation of a situation. Light is shed on a perplexing problem, the end of obscurity. So now these women know about each other. And if you look, we have these two women. They're facing the same direction, and with it on the board, they're facing the direction of this king up here. And so they're both probably coming against them. Perplexing situation. What is it? What Kiku? What you say, Kiku? No. Kiku. Immediate transformation of a situation. Light is shed on a perplexing problem. So they know about each other now. And they're not happy. But in the upper energy, it's the King of Wands, like I said, your energy, and the Chariot. And so it's time for you to take accountability, to accept your part in things, to accept maybe where all of this energy come from, knowing that it's not all your fault that you were maybe raised the way you were raised and learned the things that you've learned from society, from TV. So the energy up there is clarified by het hurt, which is love, pleasure, and beauty. And so there's love, pleasure, and beauty in being able to let go of this macho feeling that you may have, that I need to have all these women to be happy or to feel like a man. Beyond illusion. There's love, pleasure, and beauty when you can live beyond the illusion that you have to have multiple women to be happy or to be fulfilled. You need to learn that you can fulfill yourself with just accepting you, and integrating that information and integrating that you will, be in your full power. That's why you're here with the here as the King of Wands and the Chariot. It's time for you to move forward in willpower and determination, and to righten your wrongs, and learning to love yourself, dealing with those with the childhood, dealing with those emotions, dealing and healing that generational curse, so that it's not passed on to your children and their children, and this, that, and the third. Really becoming a wholesome person and leading by example. And in the future, it looks as though that you're going to do that. You're going to stand your ground in a righteous manner, but while doing the work. You're going to do the work that it takes for you to get to the point of where you can defend yourself, because you are living a righteous life, and you're loving yourself, finding that love within yourself, and not seeking it in the bed of, in between the legs of many different people, between the legs of different women, or as if you're a woman, on top of different men, or whatever. But in doing this, in working on yourself with the 8, working on yourself, there is a change that is going to happen, but it is going to take some time. So change. This is you moving in the direction of your destiny. Or it could be you definitely physically moving on from that marriage and that side piece relationship to focus on yourself. And in doing so, be patient with yourself. Understand the underlying cause, that it's not all of your fault. Be friendly with yourself. Don't be too tough on yourself in this situation. And just be receptive to the healing that will come with the honesty. With being honest with yourself. Honest with these two queens. You be honest with them. You apologize to them. Let them know what it is that you're going through and why. Perhaps. Who knows? These two women may help you through this situation. But at the end of the day, you may need to just leave that alone and just focus on you. You don't need any other distractions right now. No distractions. So, yeah. That is what I'm getting. Sagittarius. Focus on yourself. Heal any generational curses that may have you going through life cheating and manipulating, because that's all you know. That's not an excuse anymore. You know right from wrong. You know you wouldn't want people to do you the way you're doing other people. Even though some people have done that to you, that doesn't give you the right to do that to someone else. It doesn't give you the right to wreck someone else's life, or to throw in this extra drama and turmoil into their life because you're hurting. Or it could be vice versa. Okay, so if the shoe fits, wear it on. I've been watching Kappa videos, y'all, so I gotta I better stop, because them Greeks be getting out, and they draws be getting in a bunch when you start doing that little stuff. I ain't gonna even say nothing. I got a lot to say about the Greek organizations and stuff, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. Either way, I love you all. Wishing every one of you love and light, peace, wealth, health, and prosperity. Growth in knowledge, awareness, consciousness, all of that. Because if you grab onto all of those things, then you'll understand me. But anyway, yeah. Till next time.